Alright, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the lair. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Bant ramp deck. They've been very popular right now with Krosky's version. This is my own version, probably similar to a lot of the other stuff that's out here right now, but let's go ahead and take a look. On the low end, we've got two Arboreal Grazers. It's going to help us ramp. It's got reach 0-3 early blocker for 1. Allows us to put an extra land card onto the battlefield, and in this deck we're running 28, so that's pretty nice. Little something extra on the side. On the 2 drops, we got 4 growth spirals. Instant draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. 3 Hydroid Krasis. I'm sure everybody knows this by now. For X, 1 green, 1 blue. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain half X life and draw half X cards, round down each time, flying and trample. On our 3 drops, we have 3 Knights of Autumn, 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 white, 2/1 creature. When it comes into the battlefield, choose 1. Put 2/1/1 counters on Knight of Autumn, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or you gain 4 life. The versatility of this card speaks for itself. For 3, it just got so much value. There's so much you can do with it. It's really fits in very nicely in this Bant color scheme. 3 copies of Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, for 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue. When he enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. Whenever Uro enters the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield, and you can escape him for 2 green and 2 blue. Exile 5 of the cards from your graveyard. We also have our, of course, Teferi Time Rattler. This card is amazing in general. Can help us draw a card. Can shut down control decks. For 1 colorless, 1 white, 1 swamp. Each opponent can't cast spells only at a time they could cast a sorcery. And then his +1 ability, until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. And then for -3, return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand, and then you draw a card. We can bounce our own creatures, we can bounce our opponent's creatures or enchantments. And then moving on to the 4 slot, we have 3 Shatter the Skies for 2 colorless, 2 white. Each player who controls a creature with 4 or greater draws a card, and then destroy all creatures. Wanted to run this instead of Time Wipe. It's one less, and we have so many creatures that will be at power 4 or greater that we usually end up drawing a card. And getting on to the next set of cards, we really don't care if we kill our creatures, because I have 2 copies of Tamio, Collector of Tales, for 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue. Her static ability says, spells and abilities your opponent control can cause you to discard cards or sacrifice permanents. Her +1 ability, choose a non-land card name, then reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all the cards of the chosen name from among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. And then for -3, we can return a card from your graveyard to your hand. That's anything, instants, sorceries, enchantments, creatures, lands, anything. So it's just really good value here. And then moving on to our 5 drops, 3 Elspeth Conquers Death for 3 colorless and 2 white. The first part of the saga says, exile target permanent an opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. It gets rid of so much stuff. It hits such a wide variety. It's just amazing. And then the second part of the saga, non-creature spells your opponent's casts cost 2 more to cast until the end of the turn. Board wipes, individual spot killing, stuff like that. And then the third part of the saga, return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter or an extra loyalty counter on it. It just synergizes so well with the Knight or the Teferi or anything else that we might want to bring back. For Nissa, helps us ramp, helps us with our Hydroid Krasis, helps us put pressure on the board, and then of course eventually we can do her ultimate. But for Nissa's 3 colorless, 2 greens, whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional forest. Her +1 ability, put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land you control, and tap it. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with vigilance and haste that's still a land. And then, of course, her ultimate ability, -8, you get an emblem with lands you control have indestructible. Search your library for any number of forest cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. And then on the top end, for 6, we have the Dream Trawler, the Beast. This card is just so good. It can just hold you up, it draws you cards, it gains you life. It's really hard to get rid of unless you have a board wipe. But for 2 colorless, 2 white, and 2 blue, we have a flying lifelinker for 3/5. Whenever you draw a card, Dream Trawler gets +1, +0 until the end of the turn. And whenever Dream Trawler attacks, you draw a card. And then you can discard a card. Dream Trawler gains hexproof until the end of turn and tap it. So very, very strong. A lot of really good synergies right here. Let's get into the lands. So I'm running 2 copies of Plains, 1 Island, 2 Forest, 4 Hollowed Fountains, 2 Temple of Enlightenment, 4 Temple Gardens, 3 Temple of Plenty, 4 Breeding Pools, 4 Temple of Mystery, and then 2 Fabled Passage. Our converted mana cost is 3.4, but we are running 28 lands. I've got Growth Spirals. Don't usually run into an issue. And then we have other sinks like Hydroid Crisis or something if we get flooded. So it works out pretty good. So let's jump into some games. Let's see how we do. Alright, our opening hand looks very nice. We've got some scries, I've got a board wipe, I've got a Hydroid Crisis, got a Euro for some extra ramp. I think we're going to keep this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with the Temple because we do have the Aurora Grazer in there. Night of Autumn, we'll keep that on top. We got plenty of lands. Kindred. Since I have a blue and a white and also a Plains, I'm going to wait on the Temple. I'm going to go ahead and play the Temple of Plenty because we don't have a 2-drop we can play right now anyways. Temple Guard. Now that puts me at, what, 3, 4, 5? 5 lands. I mean, I guess it won't hurt because we do have the Euro here. But I think I am going to put this on the bottom. Crosslings, well, we don't have any creatures, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so we got some type of elementals here, maybe Timur. I don't see a red source yet, but we'll see. I think I am going to play my Plains, and then I'm going to play Euro. And we're going to drop the Temple of Enlightenment. Scry. I definitely don't need any more lands at this moment, so I'm going to put this to the bottom. So I'm waiting for a Risen Reef that's going to start being... Ooh, Thassa with Frostlings. That's pretty nasty. Very I think at this point, I think we're going to shadow the sky. I don't want him to keep bouncing these creatures and... Oh, sorry. Shatter the sky. Alright, grab it. We're going to go kill all those creatures. We're going to hold up the Elspeth so we can exile this next turn. Alright, so... Do I play Elspeths now? I think I just want to play a Hydroid for 3. Just get a little something on the board. See what type of tricks he has. See, now Risen... So Risen Reef actually becomes the card I want to exile, because this card can't really do anything unless they have enough devotion. Yeah, exile that. Elspeths. Very easy decision there. I'm gonna play this. I am going to get a... Get a Plains, I guess. Go ahead and attack. Pretty nasty. Okay. So I've got 2, 2, 4. If I can do. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play Knight and destroy this. And I'm gonna tap this, play Tameo, and return Elspeths.
The moon looks intriguing tonight. No tails.
Now this way, if he plays another one or this, I can destroy either one. Pretty nasty combo, I like that. Simic Elementals. Splashing Meteor Golem. Pretty cool. This thing's dead. Yep, this thing right here. Okay, go ahead and play this. Get rid of this. This has been very annoying. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Perfect. Then go ahead and play Temple. Teferi, could have been a little bit better earlier. Now what do I want to do here? I'm already going to play a big Hydroid Crucis. Honestly, I think I choose Teferi here so that I can draw him, kind of cheat. So I'm gonna choose to ferry here. I'm gonna draw. Oh, all right, that was nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna play to ferry. I'm gonna bounce Elspeth's in case he has any other type of nonsense I gotta worry about. Bounce this. Draw a card. Perfect. Hold up the blocks. Simic Elementals, he could possibly be playing, what is it, I forget what it is, for 7 that steals non-land permanent. Agent of Treachery, that's it. Okay, so he's going in for my Teferi. Not really facing a control deck here, so I don't really care about Teferi. I've already drawn my card. I'm going to play a huge Hydroid Crisis anyways next turn. That he's going to have to deal with. So let's go ahead and thin out our deck. I'm going to look for an island here. Okay. I'm going to play a huge Hydroid Crisis for everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Draw some cards. Draw 4 cards. Gain 4 life. Now we have a big presence on the board. He's going to want to get rid of this immediately. Gotta do something with her. I've already got quite a bit of stuff in my hand. Could go for Euro. I want that. Nisa. Yeah. I have a Nisa in our hand. I guess we just plus. Not really sure what I want right here.
To the library.
Guess I could say Nissa. Doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to plus her at this point. We're gonna hold off the blocks because it's not really gonna do anything. Can't get through a 0/3. Discard some cards. We're gonna discard some land because we don't need any more. Next turn I'm gonna bring back Euro. This guy's not. It's not looking good for this guy. Gonna bounce it. So I got plenty more. Let's see what this guy does. Alright, so first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to play my Forest. I'm going to attack in with the Hydroid. See what he does. Get some damage in. Okay. Now he hasn't been playing counter spells, but I'm still doubtful. I don't want to exile anything quite yet, so I think the move here is Nisa. That way, if he counters it, I can always just bring it back. Alright, I think this guy's I think he's about done here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring back Euro from the graveyard, just so I can gain some life. See if I can get a counter spell out of him. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast that. He's done. Okay. So end the turn. I'm gonna do a bunch of growth spiraling on his end step. Game. Alright. Deck performed absolutely phenomenal. And if you will excuse me for just one moment, I'll be right back. Get back into it. Alright, so opening hand, got some arboreal grazers. The two, I've got a growth spiral, hydroid crisis, looks fantastic. I am going to go ahead and open up with the breeding pool so I can shock in the breeding pool here. I'm going to play a royal grazer, I'm going to drop the Temple of Plenty. Get our scry action, the fairy. Don't have any blue sources, so unfortunately I have to bin this. Sorry I did have blue source. That was misplay on my part. Oh, and mono red. No worries. I think we'll be alright here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play an arboreal grazer. And I'm going to play Temple Garden. I'm going to wait, hold it up. That was my fault. The auto tapper is horrible, so of course, you know, it taps the lands that you don't want to tap, but no worries. Alright, we ain't doing nothing here. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. I will block because I'm going to kill one of my other creatures with a shock, waste it. Can always bring it back. This wouldn't necessarily be a target that we would bring back from the graveyard, but I want to do this. I just play growth spiral, and that'll work. That works great. Now this way we can play Knight of Autumn. I can gain some life and have a chump blocker out. Could possibly be facing an Embercleave here. This guy can get this 2. So I'm gonna block you and you. Unfortunately, him having a bunch of 1-drops makes our Elspeth's Conqueror's Death obsolete at the moment, but I'm expecting a Torbrand or Embercleave, something very soon. Okay, Hemrock Knight. This looks like typical mono red here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play out the Dryad, or I'm sorry, the Knight. Gain some life. Hold up this blocker here. Go ahead and block the Goblin. Embercleave? If he has Embercleave, we can, yeah. We can go ahead and exile it next turn. I said we weren't going to get land screwed, and here we go. So I have 28 lands in this deck. On my next turn, I have a 51% chance to draw a land. A land would be nice. A land would definitely be nice. They're running out of cards, though, so I'm not really too worried. We definitely do need a land, so we can exile this. Okay, that's not good. And that's good. Good game. On a red, what can you do, right? Alright. Let's get into another one. Alright, I have a 3-lander, but I have no blue sources, and I have 2 Elspeths. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this. This looks much better. I've got my lower end. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Elspeths, because we don't really have anything we want to bring back at the moment. So we're going to keep this. Now, put back Elspeths. I don't really like having 2 Scry lands, but we do have the possibility of Fabled Passaging on turn 4. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the Temple of Mystery first. And we have another Temple of Mystery. Well, that does help us with... I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Because now we have our 2 blue sources, 2 green sources. I'm going to go ahead and Fabled Passage for a white source. I'm going to go ahead and play Temple of Plenty, so we kind of spread out the... opponent is... Orzhov at the moment. It's still too early to get any information. I'm going to have 4 land. We already have a Night of Autumn. Let's just keep this. I mean, it can't hurt. Passion Warrior. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play Temple of Mystery. That's perfect. I'm going to pass the turn. I'm going to Growth Spiral at the end of his turn. Could be facing an Agonizing Remorse here. Hopefully not, or Duress. Learn Passion Warrior. Okay, no big deal. I'm going to Growth Spiral now. Perfect. I'm going to drop this land. I'm going to search for plains. Now, running in Passion Orator, I'm assuming he's running Johnny's Pride Mate, so I'm going to see what else develops on the board. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play out a Knight right now. I'm going to just gain some life. Being Orzhov, they could have a lot of control. So if he kills it, I don't want to put counters on it and not really get any benefit out of it. Okay, this is good. Still have an Impassioned Orator. I'm going to go ahead and attack in first. Let's see if he wants to trade. Omen of the Sun. Okay, cool. I have enough life now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to destroy... I'm going to destroy that so he doesn't get the scry, and we'll pass the turn. I can still trump block any of the. Okay, that's a good deal. I don't really care about one life. We are going to exile this though. Do I want to do that first, or do I want to? I don't want to shatter the sky because then he draws a card. I think, yeah. I think I'm gonna play the temple. To fairy, that's nice. And here we're gonna Elspeth's. I'm gonna kill the Doom Whisperer, and then I still have both these for backup. Get rid of this shit. Surveil all you. Okay, I'm gonna go in. See if he wants to trade for any of these. Nope. Oh, that's not good. Could be though, because we could just. I guess we discard. We discard Hydroid because we can always bring it back. Okay. I'm gonna board wipe here. There's not really much else we can do about that. Board wipe. Unfortunately, you don't have a creature with power 4 or greater, but with this we can bounce back Bolas, or I can bounce back my own Elspeths to kill Bolas, which is probably the better plan. Ooh, and playing Merchant. Might be in trouble here. Another Merchant. Wow. Hell of a deck, man. Hell of a deck. Okay. So let's return her with the 1/1. When she comes into play, I'm going to destroy this. Perfect. Play this. I don't want to bounce a Gray Merchant.
Right on schedule.
So I will bounce the Impassioned Orator.
I won't. Here we go.
Not much we could do there. They kind of got lucky with the Bolas' Citadel and okay. So I'm gonna block because we have to. Hydroid Crisis would be very nice right now. Don't need that.
Don't worry. I
Play
got
this.
Dueling you will be excellent research.
If I return the Knight of Autumn, I gain 4 life. That puts me at 6. And then I'll have a 2/1 blocker. 4, 5, 6. That's not enough. Alright. So I think, unfortunately, this game is over.
I follow the tracks of your
We did our best. And good game. Alright, let's hop into another one. Alright, so opening hand, got a 4-lander. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. We got a scry. I've got some early board interaction with the versatility of Knight of Autumn, depending on what we're facing. And then, of course, we got Euro to ramp and play some of these extra lands. We're gonna go ahead and keep this. I'm gonna run out the Temple first because it comes into play tap regardless. Do I want a 5th land? I don't think I need another land at the moment, so we'll go ahead and put that at the bottom. Ice Taker. Go ahead and run out Hollowed Fountain. That way our next land comes into play on tap. Mono white aggro. Okay, I don't like this card. So, we are going to prepare for a board right on our next, on their turn, I should say. So, unfortunately, I think I just pass because now he is screwed this turn, for sure. He's screwed this turn. Go ahead and say good game, just because I'm an asshole, but I'm gonna go ahead and look for planes here. We're gonna go ahead and Shatter the Sky. It's gonna draw 2 cards, but I don't really care about that. I've got a board of stuff. Oh, he doesn't draw 2 cards. Nice. That's why I really don't like playing aggro, because sure, you're faster than 90% of what's out there, but I mean, unless you have something to save your board, you get wiped and then you have no way of coming back. It's just okay. Alright, I got one more for you today. Let's check it out. Dante 0050. Not as cool as 007, but it's alright. So I got a 4-lander here. I've got 2 scry lands, 2 Elspeths. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. I don't like 2 Elspeths. I don't need that. Alright, this is nice. Got 3 lands. Growth Spiral, add an additional to Fairy. Keep this. We'll drop a Dream Trawler. I'm gonna go ahead and play out the green in case I draw in a Royal Grazer, and then that way I can Hollowed Fountain into a Growth Spiral. Another mono white. Okay, I'm gonna shock this in. Pass. And then we will be growth spiraling into our Temple of Enlightenment. That way we can play Teferi next turn. Soulmender. Okay. And Shadow Spirit. Okay. Draw a card. Play. Shatter the Sky. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this because, you know, he is playing creatures, so you never know. So I'm gonna play Teferi.
Sorry I'm late.
And we're gonna bounce. We're gonna bounce this.
Don't make enough. I've got you.
Alright, now we got the Nisa on board. Axis. Okay, might be time for a board wipe. Could be holding into Johnny's. I want a board wipe here. Or Heliod. Yeah, I think I'm gonna board wipe here because I really don't have anything that Elspeths can hit. I'm hoping he plays like a Heliod or something next turn. I don't want him to have any creatures that he can equip with this. There he is. So now we can exile that. That's good. Do I want to play this right now? I think I'm gonna play Nisa.
Strange and magnificent
Get some
world.
damage in here.
Be wary of the ground you walk.
Okay. Now I have both these for whatever. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's play one more. It's the end of the world, right? We ain't got nothing else to do. Ite 121. Alright, so opening hand, beautiful, no untapped lands, one Arboreal Grazer. Oh man. I mean, we have lands. I just don't know about this. I think I want to mulligan this. I need to see a little bit more of something.